I want to talk to you a little bit about oraciones. Oraciones means sentences in Spanish. So we're going to talk very briefly about sentence structure and how you can form sentences in Espanol. So, first off, every sentence needs a subject and a verb. The subject is the person that does the action of the verb. And remember, in our prior videos, we talked about a verb being an action word, like to run, to jump, to dance, to sing. And we can't just go around saying to run today. We have to know who's doing the action. So we are going to use a subject along with the verb in order to do that. So I could say, did you run today? Or are you going to run today? So you is the subject in this case. So let's see how that looks in Spanish. An example of a very basic sentence in Spanish is, Juan canta. Juan is our subject, and canta is our verb. See? So the most basic sentence that you can have in Spanish is just subject and a verb. And sometimes the subject is implied in the verb. So let's take a look at that. Canto. Canto is I sing. La la la, I sing. Canto. So this is both the subject and the verb. Remember, when we talked about verbs, we say that a verb is broken down into two parts. The root, or the stem, which tells us the meaning, what the action is, and then the ending. The ending tells us who is doing the action, the subject. So I don't actually have to put yo in front of it, because the ending, the O, tells me that the subject is yo. See? So this right here is a sentence all on its own. Canto, I sing. All right, now, what if I want to make a sentence negative? For example, I don't sing. To make a sentence negative in Spanish, all you have to do is put the word no directly in front of the verb. So instead of saying I sing, I would say I don't sing. No canto. So again, the rule is in Spanish, if you want to make a sentence negative, saying that you or someone doesn't do something, just put the word no in front of the verb. Bien. All right. Let's talk a little bit about adjectives. We spoke previously about how adjectives come after the noun. Let's take a look at how that looks in regards to sentence structure. So we said that we have subject and then verb. So let's say, yo tengo. So I have my subject and my verb. Pelo. Pelo is a noun. See, hair, pelo. Largo. Yo tengo pelo largo. So I have my subject, my verb, my noun, and my adjective. Remember that adjectives always come after the noun, and they have to match the noun. Whatever the noun is, the adjective has to be as well, because it's describing the noun. And what I mean by that is that if the noun is masculine, the adjective has to be masculine. If the noun is singular, the adjective has to be singular as well. See? So a little bit more of a complex sentence, slightly more complex than just your subject and verb, is adding a noun in there. Yo tengo pelo, I have hair. See? But let's say I want to tell you how long my hair is. I'm describing it. I need to add in an adjective. Just throw it after the noun. Yo tengo pelo largo. See? Bien. All right. Let's talk for a minute about adverbs. Adverbs describe verbs. See? And they work the same way as they do in English. All right? So they're going to tell us about the verb. So let's take a look at an example. Juan canta mal. So Juan sings badly. So Juan is my subject. Canta is my verb. And how does Juan sing? He sings badly. This is my adverb. See? And my adverb is going to come typically after my noun as well. See? So you can add on an adverb to tell us about the noun itself. All right. Now let's talk about questions. You've already learned about interrogative words, the question words, who, what, where, when, why, how many, right? But what if you want to create a question in Spanish without using an interrogative? It's completely possible, and I'm going to show you how. So there are 3 ways to do this. This is just a normal statement. Juan cooks. Juan cocina. See? If I want to form a question in Spanish, I can simply invert or switch the order. I can simply invert the subject and the verb. So I can say, cocina Juan. So by inverting the subject and the verb, I can form that into a question, and I haven't even had to use a question word. So I can say, Juan cooks, Juan cocina, or I can say, cocina Juan, does Juan cook? By inverting the subject and the verb, it lets my listener know, also by raising my intonation, it lets my listener know that I'm asking a question. See? All right. A basic statement. Jessica sings. Jessica canta. La la la. Jessica canta. See? Another way to ask a question in Spanish is simply to throw on some question marks and change your intonation. So instead of saying Jessica canta, I can say Jessica canta. So we're going to raise that intonation at the end of that verb. So again, instead of saying Jessica canta, Jessica sings, I'm going to raise the intonation to make it into a question. Jessica canta, does Jessica sing? See? And again, I haven't had to use a question word in order to do that. All right. So the last one, we can simply, another way to ask a question in Spanish without using an actual question word or interrogative is to add on a question tag. And a question tag is simply a question that we add on at the end of a statement. So I could say something like, Jessica baila bien, ¿no? So here I'm saying a statement in Spanish, but I'm throwing a question on at the end. See? So I could say, Jessica dances well, right? See? So these are a couple of the basic or most popular question tags that you can throw on at the end of a statement. See? So Jessica baila bien, ¿no? Or Jessica baila bien, ¿no es así? Isn't that so? Or Jessica baila bien, ¿verdad? Right? See? So those are a couple of ways that you can add tags on to the end of sentences. All right, clase, if you need to go back through and watch this video again, please do so. Also, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm here for you. This has just been a brief tutorial on forming sentences in Spanish, but as always, contact me with questions and I'll be happy to help you however I can. Okay, clase, hasta luego.